Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into some really significant figures in Islamic thought.
Absolutely. We're looking at Hazrat Ali, Ali ibn Abi Talib, and the Al Bayt.
Right, the Prophet Muhammad's household, their status, their virtues. It's a huge topic.
It is. And we're drawing from, a solid collection of sources, Quran, lots of hadith.
Exactly. The idea is to give you, the listener, a shortcut, a way to really get why these figures are held in such immense esteem, to grasp that legacy.
And what's striking right away, I think, is how the Quran itself, through specific verses linked by tradition, points directly to these individuals.
So it sets up this spiritual and family foundation right from the start.
Precisely. And when we say Al Bayt, the sources consistently bring up Sayyida Fatima, the Prophet's daughter, and her sons, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, alongside Ali. They're central.
So tell us about that Quranic foundation. You mentioned Surah Al-Imran, Ayat 61, the Ayat Mubahala.
Yes, that's a key one. It speaks of calling forth our sons, our women, and ourselves.
And the Hadith connect this directly
To the Prophet bringing Ali, Fatima, Hassan, and Hussein. They were the sons, the women, the souls in that context. It's a powerful designation.
It really is. And then there's Ayat Tahir, Surah Azab, verse 33.
Right, where Allah expresses the desire to purify the Prophet's household.
Completely.
And again, the tradition clarifies who exactly this refers to.
Yes, there's a very famous, very impactful hadith. The Prophet gathers Ali, Fatima, Hassan, and Hussein under a cloak.
The hadith of the cloak.
Exactly. And he says, "Oh, Allah, these are my al-bayt." It's a definitive statement, removing all doubt about their purified status.
Wow. That imagery is powerful.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned Surah Shara, verse 23,
Yeah.
about asking for no reward except...
Love for the near kinship. It's understood as a command, really, for affection towards the Prophet's family. It's not just lineage. It's about a deep faith-based love.
Okay, so the Quran lays the groundwork. Now, focusing on Ali, this is where it gets really interesting, isn't it? The sheer weight of these statements elevating him.
Definitely. He's not just a follower. He's presented as, well, indispensable. There's that unique connection to prophethood described in the sources, the comparison to Aaron and Moses.
Right. The hadith says Ali is to Prophet Muhammad as Aaron was to Moses, a position of incredible closeness and support.
But with a crucial difference.
Exactly. The hadith adds, except there will be no prophet after me. So it clarifies Ali's unique station without implying prophethood continued. It's a very specific high rank.
And his knowledge, his wisdom, the prophet's sayings about that are famous.
Extremely. I am the city of knowledge, and Ali is its gate.
Yeah.
It's probably the most well-known.
The indispensable entrance to that knowledge.
Yes. And another says, I am the house of wisdom, and Ali is its door. Same idea. He's the access point.
But there's also context, right? Another hadith broadens that picture.
Yes, there's one source that presents a more comprehensive analogy. It says, I am the city of knowledge, Abu Bakr is its foundation, Umar its wall, Uthman its roof, and Ali its door.
So that gives a picture of complementary roles within that early leadership. Interesting.
It shows how different sources sometimes offer different perspectives, yes.
Let's talk about the personal bond. Ali is from me, and I am from Ali. That sounds incredibly deep, reciprocal.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And the story from the Battle of Khaybar really brings this to life.
Remind us of that one.
Well, the Prophet needed someone to carry the banner for a final assault. He said he'd give it to someone who loves Allah and his messenger, and who Allah and his messenger love back. Someone through whom victory would come.
And everyone hoped it would be them, I imagine.
Naturally. But the next day, he called for Ali. Ali's eyes were sore, inflamed.
Right, he was unwell.
The Prophet applied his own saliva to Ali's eyes, and they were cured instantly. Then he gave him the banner.
An incredible moment. Love, healing, trust, victory. It's all there.
And the Prophet added that guiding just one person to Islam through Ali was better than possessing the most valuable camels, red camels, the saying goes. It highlights the spiritual value of Ali's role.
That puts worldly wealth in perspective.
Definitely. And there's another instance when the Prophet was pairing off his companions in brotherhood.
Yes.
Ali was left unpaired, perhaps feeling overlooked. The Prophet then declared Ali his brother in this world and the hereafter.
Yeah.
A unique, eternal bond.
So it's not just about knowledge or battle, but this profound personal and spiritual brotherhood.
Exactly. It paints a complete picture of his standing.
Okay, so we see Ali's individual status. Now, let's broaden back out to the Al-Bayt as a whole as guides.
Right. And if we connect this all together, the sources really portray them not just as, respected figures from the past, but as ongoing sources of guidance, like navigational stars, you could say.
The two weighty things, hadith seems central here. It comes up multiple times in the sources, doesn't it?
It does, Thaqalain. The Prophet explicitly states he's leaving behind two things. If you hold fast to them, you won't go astray.
And those are?
Allah's book, the Quran, and his al-bayt, his household.
And crucially, they won't separate.
That's the promise. They will remain together until they meet the Prophet at the fountain, Kawthar, in the hereafter. It signifies continuous, inseparable guidance from both.
Quran and al-bayt together, that's a powerful statement of their role.
Very powerful. And there's another metaphor that reinforces this idea of them being essential for salvation.
Ah, the ark analogy.
Yes, the comparison to Noah's Ark. The Hadith says, the al-bayt are like the ark. Whoever boards is saved, and whoever opposes is drowned.
That's incredibly stark. It really underlines their importance as a means of safety, spiritually speaking.
It does. It presents adherence to them as vital for staying on the right path.
And this importance translates into direct advice for raising children, right? There's a hadith about what to teach them.
Yes, parents are advised to instill three loves in their children. Love for the Prophet, love for the al-bayt, and love, or rather the practice, of reciting the Quran.
So love for the family is right there alongside love for the Prophet and the Quran itself.
Absolutely. And another hadith clarifies that loving the Prophet's family stems from loving the Prophet, which ultimately comes from loving Allah for his blessings. It's all interconnected.
And this love carries a promise, a reward in the afterlife.
Yes, several hadiths mention this. One promises that anyone who loves the Prophet, Hassan, Hussein, Fatima, and Ali, will be with the Prophet in paradise. It's about companionship in the highest station.
That's a significant promise. And the individual statuses within paradise are also mentioned.
They are. Sayyidah Fatima is named as the leader of the women of paradise.
Leader of all women in paradise. Wow.
And Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein are called the leaders of the youth in paradise. So specific elevated roles even there.
And there's even a mention of the Prophet knowing about his own passing and giving Fatima choices.
Yes, one hadith touches on that, showing her unique place in his affections and knowledge. It highlights her special significance.
Okay, so the reverence is clear, the call to love them is clear, but how does this play out in practice? This brings up that important question for you, the listener. How do communities handle such revered figures?
Right, because strong feelings can sometimes lead to issues.
The sources seem very direct about love for Ali being tied to faith itself.
Extremely direct. Love for Ali is a sign of faith, while hatred for Ali is a sign of hypocrisy. It's stated very clearly in several hadith.
And this wasn't just theoretical. People actually used this as a litmus test.
Apparently so. The sources mention that the Ansar, the helpers in Medina, used this very measure to identify hypocrites among them. If someone showed animosity towards Ali, it was seen as a bad sign.
And the Prophet himself warned against speaking ill of Ali.
Very strongly. Whoever slanders Ali slanders me. It equates criticism of Ali with criticism of the Prophet himself. That's how closely they're linked.
Okay, this level of reverence is immense. But the sources also warn about going too far, don't they? There's that crucial analogy between Ali and Prophet Isa, Jesus.
Yes, Hadith 26. This one is really important for understanding the call for balance.
How does it work? What are the extremes it warns against?
It essentially says Ali is like Isa. Two groups went astray regarding Isa. One group loved him too much, elevating him beyond his human status, even deifying him. The sources compare this to some Christian views.
And apply this risk to Ali.
Yes, warning against excessive love that leads people to, say, invent falsehoods or elevate Ali improperly. The source specifically mentions Shia Rafsi as an example of this kind of extreme love leading to error.
Okay, that's one extreme. What's the other?
The other group hated Isa excessively, rejecting him, slandering him and his mother. The sources compare this to some Jewish views at the time.
And the parallel regarding Ali
is falling into excessive hatred, slander, or rejection of Ali's rightful status. The source mentions Khawaris and Munafiq, hypocrites, as examples here.
So the hadith is basically saying, don't deify him, but don't hate or reject him either. Find the middle path.
Exactly. It advocates for recognizing his incredibly high status and loving him, but keeping it within the proper bounds of Islam without exaggeration or denigration.
And the Maslak-e-Ali Sunnat, the Sunni way, is presented as that balanced path.
That's how the source frames it, yes, as the path that acknowledges Ali's virtues and status without either extreme.
And there's even a saying attributed to Ali himself about balance, involving Abu Bakr and Umar.
Yes, Hadith Thumb 7 quotes Ali as saying that love for him and hatred for Abu Bakr and Umar cannot coexist in a true believer's heart.
So that seems to discourage factionalism, encouraging respect for all these key early figures.
It certainly points towards the need for a balanced perspective, avoiding pitting figures against each other and fostering unity.
Which ties back to that Quranic call we see elsewhere, like in Surah Al-Imran 103.
Hold firmly to the rope of Allah altogether and not become divided. Yes, it all connects back to that principle of unity.
So this deep dive, it really shows how Islamic tradition positions Ali and the Al-Bayt as foundational. They're anchors, guides alongside the Quran.
Absolutely. And it also highlights this constant theme of balance, immense love and respect, yes, but always guarding against extremes that could divide the community.
Understanding this gives you, the listener, such a richer view of Islamic history, theology, and these deeply held beliefs. It's complex, but also very coherent.
It really shows the layers of significance, doesn't it? The reverence, the warnings, the call for unity.
Definitely. Which leaves us with a final thought for you to consider. How does this emphasis we've seen today, this focus on preserving unity and avoiding extremes when appreciating pivotal figures, how might that offer lessons for any community, any tradition, trying to foster harmony amidst different interpretations, even well beyond this specific context we explored? Something to think about.